Hi, thanks so much for asking me to do this video. I wanted to say hi to Maddie, Katie, Allie, Holland, and of course Maggie. And I'm here to answer a couple of your questions. So we'll start now. So where did I get the idea to write the book? And I don't think that there was any one light bulb moment where I thought, gee, I'm gonna write a book about a bunch of girls who come up with a guide for guys on how to treat them. But it was really more about Um, obviously, I wish I had a book like that in high school, but I also thought it'd be neat to sort of take this girl who'd always done everything that was expected of her, and was really nice, and sort of put her in a position where she felt like it was time to sort of get back and, maybe not be so nice and teach all these people that she felt were screwing her and her friends and try and teach them a lesson. So who did I base the characters off of in this book? There really weren't any real life people that I based them off of. Usually when I'm thinking of characters, they're sort of a combination of a bunch of people I know. In this case, obviously her friends. I tried to sort of steal some characteristics of my friends that I really like. As far as Luke goes, though, usually when I'm thinking about Luke, there's no particular guy that I knew in high school that I'm basing my boys after. But usually they're sort of kind of based on my husband and what I imagine he would have been like in high school. So, did I experience anything that happens in the book in real life? And actually, when I was writing this book, I was in the process of moving from Chicago to Boston. I had lived here before, so I was sort of coming back the same way that Emily was. There's a lot of all my books that are sort of based on real life things, whether it be my husband loves the Celtics, so Luke chooses to take Emily to the Celtics for her birthday, even though a girl typically wouldn't find going to a basketball game all that exciting for her birthday. There's lots of little things. When I was in high school, we had a lunch place, very much like the place that Luke takes Emily the first time they go out to lunch and sit in his car and eat. Um, Things that their friends do. I went to a high school that sort of, when I was writing it, I pictured being the high school that Emily and Luke go to. I ski, so they go away skiing for the weekend. There's just stuff like that planted all throughout the book that are sort of based on real life and then fictionalized. Yes, I am absolutely planning on writing more books. I would say that I get at least 3 emails a month asking if I'm going to come up with a sequel to the Book of Luke where their story continues because I guess people really like Luke and Emily. But I have never considered what happens to Luke and Emily after the book ends. So I don't think that's really in the cards. I don't know that I could ever write a sequel to any of my books because I kind of feel like the end is the end and it stops there for a reason. But I am working on another book right now. After I wrote Luke, I wrote two more books, Rich Girls and Local Boys, which take place on Martha's Vineyard. And I'm working on another one right now, so there will absolutely be more books. Hands down, I prefer writing teen books over adult books. I've written 6 adult books and then the 14 books, and I can't ever foresee going back to writing for adults because I just think writing for teens is so much fun. I'm not one of those people who always knew she wanted to be a writer. I always loved to read. I think that writers naturally are voracious readers. I could just devour a book a week easily in high school. Even now, I still read while I am writing just because I find it really inspiring to read other people's writing and see what I like and what I don't like and what I might want to incorporate or not incorporate in the story that I'm writing. So I didn't write my first book until I was actually in my 30s. I actually have a real job and do other things and have other interests. So I do love writing, but it wasn't something I'd always aspired to do. I have met some people who are sort of famous, no sort of very glamorous people. I was doing a book tour and I was on some TV shows, and in the course of doing that, I was on TV with Kevin Bacon on a New York show. Who I wouldn't say was the nicest person in the world. When I was in Philadelphia, I was on a show with the lead singer from Twisted Sister, and he was a really nice guy, so that was enjoyable. I've met, of course, a bunch of authors as a writer. It's kind of a small world, so you see each other, you talk to each other. And so I know Megan McCafferty and Judy Blume and some other writers that you may have heard of. But it's not like I've actually been on Oprah or met Oprah or anything that glamorous. Do my kids read my books? My daughter, who is just a year younger than you guys, has not read any of my books. I don't think she really wants to know what goes on in my head, and I'm kind of afraid if she knew what went on in my head. My son, of course, has no interest in reading any of these books because they're not exactly guy books. So neither of them have read them. Someday I hope my daughter will read them. I think I might be interested in what she has to say, but I really just hope she likes them. So there are all the answers to your questions. I hope you found them helpful or interesting. I will say that I really enjoyed writing the book of Luke and creating all the characters and writing the story. And I'm really glad that people enjoy it so much. And I really appreciate you guys making a trailer, and I am so excited to see it. So fingers crossed you guys like this, and I can't wait to see yours. Bye.